Alright, so today's a warm day and it's in the 50s, I think, low 50s. It's all over the place here. You can see the bees are out having a great time. There's pollen and lots of activity. There's fuzzy nugs here. And it was even crazier a few minutes ago. It really was. Hips as well. Lots going on in there. They don't have as much pollen on this side today. They're not bringing as much in, so maybe they don't need it. Let's see. And happy. Yeah, they were pretty busy a few minutes ago. They're calming down a bit. But you can see there's quite a bit of pollen on there. It's like a brownie kind of tan pollen, so it's a little harder to see. Lots of bees kind of chilling down here. What a difference a day makes, you know? Let's see how many are flying. A little bit of orientation flights going on too. I know they do this every time after it's been cold and everybody's been kind of cooped up for a few days. Kind of get reoriented. And I also have a little bit of sugar syrup out because it's warm today. You can see it's down. It was completely full a few hours ago. So they're just in the air. I want to give them something to do because there's not a lot of nectar out. You don't want to open the hives. And I have sugar inside the hives that they're eating through, but I think on these cold nights, they're not able to get up there. So I thought if we have a 60-degree day, I might as well let them stockpile it up. This way all the hives can have access and give them give those foragers something to occupy themselves. So I don't normally do the open feeding. Usually that little feeder has water in it during the busier season because we get a lot of yellow jackets and wasps and all kinds of stuff. So I don't want to be attracting them all in. But I haven't seen any out and about lately. And I thought, you know what, I'll just stick this out for the day. Let's see. So, okay, this is later in the afternoon. I just showed you earlier how busy everybody was. I have all these bees in front of Happy Hive down here in the grass. And they're just hanging out. They're alive, but they're just suddenly there. And I also see, I know it's normal to see, feces and stuff after they've been in the hive it's only been a couple of days, but you see behind that bee, there's some more over there on that leaf. So I'm wondering if this is Nosema. I don't know. I mean, this is my first winter beekeeping, but I've put some on this little stick and I'm gonna see if I can get it under my microscope. I've looked online to see what Nosema looks like and I'm gonna see if I can identify it. I was gonna also point out, and this is why it has been so helpful to have more than one hive, over here in front of Fuzzy Nuggets, you don't see a huge amount of bees on the ground. So it's not like they just all pile out after a cold day and come and lay on the grass. I mean, there's a few, but it's just normal stuff. Same thing here in front of Pipsqueaks. Now they also don't have the same mite drop either after I did the oxalic. So I'll show you Happy. But, and I said I was going to show this the other day and I never did. But if you remember last Thursday, I went to the Hive Life conference in Tennessee and we did the second oxalic acid right before we left. And you can see, you know, there's a whole bunch of mites. And I did a little like rough count, and I would say there's about 200 to 300 in here. So, you know, at least a 2 to 3% amount of mites per bees that dropped. And this was round 2 on the treatment. The first treatment, there were even more mites. So, and you can also see where the cluster is, which I really like to do a lot of observations from the outside. Just kind of gives you a good idea of how big the colony is, what's going on in there. And I see it looks like they've been having some brood hatch out based on the brown little cappings there. And it looks like they're occupying roughly 3 frames based on where the majority of the droppings are from under the hive. So it's not a huge cluster. And they are, you know, I looked at the thermal, I did that thermal picture, and they are only in the bottom box for the most part. That's where they're clustered. Whereas here on Fuzzy Nuggets, they have 5 frames on the bottom that are theirs and 5 frames on the top that are theirs. And they look like they are clustering between like 3 and 4 of the frames on the bottom and the top. So if you add that all together, they've got pretty much a deep box filled of bees. And pipsqueak's kind of hard to tell how many they're occupying because they're kind of clustered up on the wall, on the dividing wall that divides them. So anyway, I'm gonna see if I can figure out this, see if this is Nosema or if maybe it's just related to some other sickness related to the mites. I don't know. Okay, so we're looking at the bee feces under the microscope on a computer. I've got it hooked up here. We have this microscope for school. Okay, can you show us again the ones that you see? Ethan, you can point one out too that you saw? Yeah, good. So we looked up what Nosema spores look like on the internet, and that looks to be like it. There's some other cells in here that are rather large. Let me focus in and out here. Not sure. We're like kind of looking through the different depths, I think, is what we're focusing down through. And there's those bigger things, which might be pollen grains. I'm not sure, but I'm not seeing a lot that looks like Nosema, if that's what that is, when we're brand new to this, so what do we know? But only saw, ooh, but look at that. When you focus in and out at different levels, like different depths of the liquid, look. Do you see any more now?
Yeah, there.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Yeah. So they may have some Nosema. Huh. Okay, so now we gotta figure out what to do. This is interesting. All right. Well,